Hey guys, it's Alicia. Today I have another What's for Dinner for you. My husband and I are on the WW Green Plan, so all of these meals will be WW friendly or Weight Watcher friendly. And even though we are on the Green Plan, I will also have the points for the blue and the purple plans for those of you who are not on the Green Plan. And even if you're not on Weight Watchers, all these meals are definitely family friendly and my kids enjoy them. So that's the thing that I love about Weight Watchers. Even though it's technically a diet, the food does not taste like diet food to me. And there's a lot of stuff that is very, very family friendly. And so I will be showing you some of those today. Tonight we are doing something really easy for dinner, and that is chicken fajitas. And I'm gonna make it even easier because instead of using boneless, skinless chicken breast, which I would normally do, I'm gonna be using these Tyson grilled chicken breast strips. Now, we bought these, I think it was back in March when COVID was just starting basically and everyone was going crazy buying all the meat up. So there was no chicken breast to be found anywhere. This was all that Sam's had. So I bought a couple bags of this and I've got a little bit left. So I'm just gonna use this tonight to kind of get this used up. And these are really good. I really have enjoyed using these, but they're also more expensive obviously than just buying boneless, skinless chicken breasts. So probably not something I'm gonna buy in the future, but I have enjoyed using them. And like I said, I'm gonna use them tonight. So I've got 16 ounces of that here weighed out. I'm gonna just add that to my wok. And I'm gonna get that kind of heating up. And again, the nice thing about these is these are already pre-cooked, so it makes this very, very easy. But I'm gonna get that starting to warm up and then I will show you the next step. I've gotten this heating up a little bit, and now I'm gonna take my Fajita Seasoning. This is just something that I made myself. It's not my recipe though. I will link the website down below where I got the recipe for this stuff, but it's really good. So typically with your boneless, skinless chicken breast, uncooked, you would put this, you would sprinkle this on the chicken before you cooked it. But this is already cooked, so I wanted to get it kind of warmed up so that this would probably stick a little better. So I'm gonna just kind of sprinkle this on the chicken. And then I'm going to just continue heating this up. I've got this chicken nice and heated up, and I also kind of broke it up a little bit into smaller pieces. So now I'm gonna take this and I'm going to transfer this to a different dish. All right, I got that chicken transferred out of there. And so now I'm going to add into the wok a red onion that I've sliced up, a yellow bell pepper, orange bell pepper, and red bell pepper. And I'm gonna just cook these in here for a few minutes until they've softened up nicely. Those onions and peppers are looking pretty good, so I'm gonna go ahead and add back in my chicken. And I'm gonna add a little squeeze of fresh lime juice to this. And then I'm gonna stir this all together. Okay, and here's what it looks like. I just let that chicken cook in with those peppers for a few more minutes. And yeah, it's ready to eat now. All right, and here I've got those ready to eat. I've just got a quarter of that chicken in veggie mixture on 2 of these white corn tortillas. And then I've also got a little bit of fat-free Greek yogurt on top and a little bit of cilantro. So for 2 of these, just as I have them here, which again is 1/4 of that fajita mixture on 2 white corn tortillas, it is only 5 points for this, which I think is really good. That's a whole lot of dinner for 5 points. And I believe that's the same on the blue and purple, because this is 5 points on green. But I will double check that, and I will have all the colors points on the screen as well as down below in the description box. But yeah, this is just a really, really good dinner for not a whole lot of points and very, very filling. Tonight for dinner is one of my family's absolute favorites, and that is 2-ingredient pizza dough pizza. Now, I've talked about this pizza dough before. I absolutely love it. It is so easy to make, and it is so good. In fact, I just did a video on cinnamon rolls that start out with basically the 2-ingredient pizza dough. I will link that up above and down below if you want to check that out if you haven't seen it already. Those were really good too, but there are just lots of ways to use this 2-ingredient pizza dough, and pizza dough, or as pizza dough, I should say, is just one of them. So that's what I'm starting out with right here. Is my 2-ingredient pizza dough, and I'm just getting that all nice and kneaded up and ready to go. Once I've got my dough all kneaded out, I'm gonna take it and break it into 2 equal parts and form 2 balls out of that. And then I'm gonna just take each individual ball and I'm going to roll it out into as close of a circle as I can get. I'm never that picky about this. My circles are never that good, but that's okay. I just roll it out to as good of a circle as I can get. Then I take it and I'm gonna put it on one of these 12-inch or 12.5-inch in diameter pizza pans. But first I'm gonna spritz that pan with a little bit of olive oil. And then I'm gonna just take my dough, plop it on the pan there. And then this is where I kind of just rework the dough to get it to fit on the pan. Because again, my circles are really kind of terrible when I roll out my dough. So I just form it on here the best I can. And that's one of the nice things about this dough. It's really easy to kind of rework and form to whatever kind of pan that you're using. And so I just kind of push that in there and get it looking as good as I can. And then I move on to the next one. Once I've got that dough all rolled out and in the pizza pans, I take my pizza sauce and I just make mine, but you definitely don't have to. You can do a store-bought or whatever you want to do. But I just find it is pretty easy to make. So I take my sauce, I evenly put it on these 2, and then I just spread that out. So now I'm going to add a little part skin mozzarella to both of these, a little bit of veggies, and you can use whatever type of veggies you want. These are our typical toppings. Some pepperoni, or turkey pepperoni I should say. A little bit of jalapeno slices for my husband's, and that is it. These are ready to go. You want to bake these in your preheated oven at 425 for about 15 to 18 minutes. I usually just watch mine to see when they are done. And here they are done. Now I will typically let these sit for about 5 minutes or so before I try to cut into them. Okay, so here is a serving size of that pizza, and that is 6 points on all 3 colors. My husband's probably gonna have 2, right? Mm-hmm. 2 pieces, and so that would be 13 with Weight Watchers funky math. So he's gonna go ahead and try this. It's been a while since we've had this. I try to make this a lot. Oh, no fork? Okay.
Well, probably should.
I love his,
It smells really good. I mean, you can smell the, you know, the cheese and the jalapenos and the peppers. This is great pizza.
It is. I don't think we've had it since before our trip. I was starting to say, gotta love your shirt, but I keep forgetting what his name is. It's Ernie. No, Bert. been confused to be an Angry Bird shirt, but no, it is a bird shirt.
So the first thing you get is the sweetness of the sauce, and then the jalapeno, and then the sweetness of the peppers, and I'm tasting the mushroom now, and then the last kind of big taste was the pepperoni. You know, so it really comes together for this very sweet and spicy taste, and then you kind of get the savory of the crust.
And you like that crust, right? I love
yeah.
that stuff.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
So just, I mean, this is one of my favorite things that you
Make?
Yeah,
me too.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's been too long. Okay, so this one is gonna be tuna noodle casserole. And I'm just starting with a large pan here. I'm gonna spritz it with a little bit of olive oil. And then I'm gonna add to it some mushrooms and a red onion that I've cut up. And I'm gonna just cook these until they are softened. But actually first, I'm gonna add a little ground pepper to them too. You can add salt if you want, but I'm gonna just do pepper. And then over here, I've got a pot of water boiling, and I'm gonna add to it this whole grain spaghetti, and I'm gonna use the whole 16-ounce box. And I'm gonna just cook that pasta until it is al dente. Now that these mushrooms and onions are softened up, I'm gonna add in a half cup of wine. And I've got my heat on medium, basically this whole time now. And I'm gonna just let this cook in here until a lot of that wine has kind of evaporated off. And the wine I'm using is just this Winking Owl Shiraz. You just want to use a dry wine. You can use red, white, whatever you want, but you want it to be dry. Okay, my noodles are al dente, so I'm gonna go ahead and take them off, drain them, and then set them aside. And I'm using spaghetti here, but you can use absolutely any type of pasta that you want. But I do use the whole wheat because I think that keeps the points down a little bit better than the regular pasta. But yeah, any type of pasta you want, absolutely can use. This is just what I have on hand. All right, now that some of that wine has evaporated off, and it smells really good, by the way, and I'm gonna pour in some skim milk. And a little bit of soy sauce. And then I'm gonna add a little more pepper too. And I'm gonna just stir this and bring it to a simmer. And you wanna be stirring this constantly so that you don't curdle that milk or burn anything. So I'm just gonna keep stirring this until this comes to a simmer. And again, I've got it on a medium heat. Okay, I actually ended up increasing the heat to medium-high to get this simmering a little quicker. So now that it's simmering, I'm gonna take some of these mixed frozen veggies. Typically I would use peas in this, but I don't have any peas, so I'm going to use these instead. And then I'm gonna add in a little reduced fat cheddar cheese blend, and then this is Parmesan. Stir that in there. And now I'm gonna add in my tuna that I've drained. Stir that in. And you want to have your oven preheating at 350. And now I'm gonna add in about a half cup of this non-fat Greek yogurt. Now in the recipe video that I have on this, I use fat-free sour cream, I believe, but since I pretty much always use fat-free Greek yogurt for sour cream anymore, so. But you can use sour cream if you want. I just love my Greek yogurt. So I'm gonna stir all this together. And at this point, I'm gonna turn the heat off and I'm gonna add in my spaghetti. And then I'm gonna kind of break this up a little bit just to make it easier to stir in here. And then I'm gonna stir all of this together. All right, I've got a 13 by 9 inch casserole dish here that I've sprayed with a little cooking spray. Now I'm gonna take my pasta and I'm going to just pour this in here. And then I'm gonna just smooth this in here. Now you are gonna have some liquid left over that you're gonna see in this, and that is not a problem because when you bake it, that's going to, whatever is left liquid-wise is gonna get absorbed. So it's fine to have that little bit of liquid. Okay, now I'm gonna take some more of that cheese that I used earlier, the Parmesan and the mixed cheddar cheese blend, and I've got them mixed together, and I'm gonna just sprinkle these on the top. Like that, and now I'm gonna bake this at 350 for about 20 minutes, maybe a little bit longer. Okay, and here it is, done. I let this bake just at 20 minutes, and it is ready to eat. Actually, I'm gonna let it cool for a few minutes first before I serve it up. Okay, and here I've got a serving of this plated up, and a serving is 1/6 of that casserole, and it's a pretty good size serving, as you can see. And the points on that are 9 on the green and the blue, and just 4 on the purple. But this is a family favorite. My kids love it. We love it. It's really easy to make, and it's very reminiscent of kind of the classic tuna noodle comfort food. So I definitely love this one and make this one quite a bit. I'm gonna have my husband try this and let you know what he thinks, and he's had this a bunch of times before, but still. We've got our creeper, Bella, right there too.
Okay, I'm gonna see if I can get this on her. Yeah, I'm a big fan of the dish. You know, so visually it's bright, but you know, also it has a bright flavor to it, a bright taste. Really, it's got a sweetness, and I'm not sure. I mean, obviously that's coming from the onion and the carrots a little bit, but it's almost like the tuna. This is a tuna casserole. Right?
This is tuna casserole.
Yeah. It's you know, the tuna actually has kind of a sweet taste to it. A nice combination of the, you know, the noodles kind of lay a savory base, and then you have the brightness of the different vegetables, and of course I love mushrooms, and I'm a big fan of tuna casserole. I think it's great. Me
too. It's like a classic comfort food, I think.
So really, you know, it's an overall kind of very lightly sweet taste, which is great. It doesn't taste over salty to me, and just the flavors really mix well together. So.
All right.
Thank you for making it for me.
You're welcome. Thank you for trying it on camera.
Okay.
And those are the family-friendly meals that we had on WW Green Plan this week. I hope maybe this gave you guys some ideas. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one.